I suffer from paroxysphenophobia. I have a fear of beautiful blonde women. My whole life, every time I've gotten near a beautiful blonde woman, something of mine has disappeared. Really, jobs, boyfriends. Once an Angora sweater just leaped right off my body. And I figured out why blondes are more popular. You know why? It's because there are less of them. It's true, it's supply and demand. Somewhere in the world there are millions of blondes and they're all hiding just to keep up their market value. And blondes have more fun, don't they? You're a beautiful blonde in the front. What's your name?
Nicole.
Nicole. Blondes are named Nicole. Brunettes are named Ruth. But don't they have more fun, Nicole? Yes, she didn't try to hide it from me. She just said, yes, but they do. How many brunettes do you see walking down the street with blonde roots? And my best friend in the world is a gorgeous blonde girl, too, really. Well, she's gorgeous except for these bruises that she has every place from where men keep hurling jewelry at her. Because men give blondes jewelry. They give brunettes shoes. It's the first jewelry I ever got was from my husband. We were engaged. He gave me this, but he was a little chicken. He gave me it on the condition I wouldn't call it an engagement ring. I said, I'll call it a can opener. Just give me the ring. And I wanted to go with him to buy it because you have to wear it and you never know what you're going to end up with. And the worst thing you can say when someone gives you an engagement ring is, you wouldn't happen to have the receipt. It's an antique. I love it. It makes it that much more special to me knowing that someone didn't want it anymore. No, I do like jewelry. I just don't think you should put it in your nose. I don't think you should pierce your nose. You can if you want, but I don't think you should. Really, once you pierce your nose, no one will ever listen to anything you have to say again. What could you possibly know? You pierced your nose. You'll talk and people will just look at you and smile. And think, geez, that must have hurt. My dad's he's just so happy I didn't marry a man who has a pierced ear, because he doesn't understand that. Actually, I think men who have a pierced ear are better prepared for marriage. Well, they've experienced pain and bought jewelry.
I was not a brilliant single. I'm probably better off as a husband. Although I'm only married 2 years, my wife and I are still making adjustments to matrimony. My wife had the nerve a little while back to accuse me of being a sexist pig, which for a Jewish person such as myself is a double insult. A sexist pig, she called me, simply because I came home one night and I said, fire up some food, wench, daddy's hungry. This she considered sexist. So now my wife insists that if she does the cooking, I must do the food shopping. I have no idea what to buy, so she writes lists. I buy what's on the list, some of which occasionally strikes me as strange. Evaporated milk. I couldn't believe this. Milk that is evaporated. If there's one quality I insist on in anything I buy, it is visibility. I think you'll agree with. Without visibility, you cannot check quality. I wouldn't buy evaporated water. This is humidity. I wouldn't spend a nickel on humidity. I'm not going to plunk down money on milk that has disappeared. Suppose I bring this milk home, I put it down, and I forget where I put it. It'll eventually transform into like an invisible cheese, yes? And there'll be an invisible stench that'll begin diffusing. Neighbors will say, why don't you get rid of it? I'd say, I'd like to, but I can't find it. It's evaporated. She has me buy shrimp balls a little while back. For dinner, shrimp balls. And if there's any part of the shrimp that I don't want to munch on, I have a vision of a shrimp swimming up the river going, ah, ah, while I'm munching on a sensitive part of his anatomy. Give me his pancreas or his spleen, but let him swim in dignity. The doctor told me that I should elevate the fiber content in my diet, and specifically, he suggested that I begin eating this new cereal called Fiber One. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this rather powerful piece of breakfast fare, this grim reaper of morning chow, this nuclear laxative in a box, but This stuff is unbelievably fiber-rich. It has 6 times more fiber than grape nuts and 3 times more fiber than raw twine, to give you an idea of the incredible fiber concentration. This stuff is unbelievable. It is one thing to be regular, ladies and gentlemen. It is another to be unstoppable. It's not as though I have nothing to do with my day. There should be a Surgeon General's warning on the box. Don't eat unless retired. There's no way to remain a productive citizen of society. And there should be a picture of Tony the Tiger squatting.
Good. Listen, I can't stay long. I'm in between meals, so bear with me. I like to know this. I went shopping today. What's this one-size-fits-all stuff? I'm a fat person in California, the worst place for a fat person. There's only 3 of us. And they have us on 8-hour shifts, so it works out. I tried to get in this California living. I was at the beach. Every time I'd lay down, people would push me back into the water. Hurry up, he's dying. And the bums down at the beach, always coming up to me, hey, buddy, could you help me out with a sandwich? Well, sure, where is it? What originally brought me to California, though, were the Olympics. I don't know if you recognize me. Hula hoop contest. Still on. I tried every event, though. I tried that pole vault. I drove that sucker right in the ground. I did a good thing, though. I straightened out those uneven parallel bars. Broad jump, killed her. Oh, sorry, I'm sweating, but if I don't, I'll explode. My favorite thing is when you're fat and you go over to someone's house, they always overcompensate for you. Oh, come on in, Louie, and sit down here on this concrete sofa. Or the reinforced steel lawn furniture. Do what I do, head right for that wicker. Oh, that's just for plants. No one sits on it. And how can you diet? I mean, I'm on that Weight Watchers thing now, but you know that 5 fish, 3 beef, and a liver? I didn't know that was a weekly deal. I gained 90 pounds the first week. It's the products that they have out that get you, like these almost home cookies. And that's as close as I've been able to get them. In fact, they're thinking about renaming them for me, almost out of the store. Yeah, it's hard to diet, though. Everybody's running and jumping. Why? It's true. I tell you what, do these people who are in shape think the bomb's gonna hit and go, oh, he's in shape? And isn't it true? Isn't it true? About every 3 or 4 months, the guy who's written the book or done the run or invented the exercise machine keels over dead. He's dead, but he looks good, doesn't he? I'm not walking anywhere. Bring that car around. You find me, I want to be slumped over in that front seat with a Big Mac in one hand and a Slurpee in the other. Yeah, my doctor says, Louie, you've got to lose some weight. So I got to get a new doctor. Well, let's face it, if I didn't do these fat jokes, you guys would sit out there and go, do you think he knows he's that big?
Were you ever out to dinner with someone and you thought you were just gonna burp? And you puked instead? They don't say anything. They just look at you. And you don't say anything because who's gonna believe thought you were just gonna burp. Right about here, it picked up a hitchhiker. I never played with dolls as a child. I thought dolls were boring. Dolls were for one thing, haircuts. You know, like I'd get a Barbie doll, 2 weeks later she'd have a pixie. A week after that, just dots. And then her head would be on the end of my pencil in school. My teachers, it would frighten them. They'd get nervous. Margaret, what are you doing with that head on the end of your pencil? What is that? You. And they'd always ask me, Margaret, how come you hit all the other children? Because I like the sound it makes. Well, I'd like to leave you on a positive note here. I doubt it. No, this is my 1988 New Year's resolution. Maybe you can use it in your lives. And that is to stay away from people who are into misery. Because misery loves company, and if you don't believe me, just look at a fly strip. You'll never see a fly stuck there saying, go around.
I called the mechanic. I said, my car starts, but it doesn't move. He said, check the trans. So I said to my brother, take off your dress and help me with this thing. My nephew had a birthday, you know. He said, I want to make a wish. I want to make a wish. So I grab him by the ankles and start spinning him. He goes, wish, wish, wish. And I threw him into the wall. I knew what he really meant. But I thought, what a good time to warn him about the dangers of homonyms. Every night when I was a kid, I'd say, Daddy, tell me a story. And he'd say, Emo, I need my sleep. I have to look for work in the morning. And I'd say, come on, tell me a longer one. Yeah.
Yes. You know, you guys, let's go back in time. You know what? Come closer to the goddess. Today, I was rudely interrupted in the middle of my afternoon nap by this guy honking his horn behind me. Just 'cause the light turned green. And I'm driving in my Pinto blowabout. And then, you know what? This guy pulled up next to me, and he's acting real uppity, even though he's got the exact same car as I do, except it's a gold Mercedes. And I'm driving, yeah. And you know what? I had to drive really far south, Alabama, Georgia, El Salvador. When you drive really far south and you have a license plate from up here, you better have a sign on your car that says, stop me and make a fast 50 oinker. Nice! I'm not saying this cop was looking for a handout, but he's posing like an Egyptian hieroglyphic. Hi, Judy. Hi, Judy. Your car's blue. I'm gonna have to strip search you. I said, oh, that sounds legal, goober. He said, hey, you're kinda sassy. You're kinda sassy, missy. Is everybody that sassy where you come from? I said, yeah, we're pretty hip on the planet Earth. And he goes, hey, Judy, I don't believe you know the difference between the North and the South. He said, I don't think you know the difference between the North and the South. I said, yes, I think I do know the difference between the North and the South. Like in the North, there's a cutoff age for sleeping with your parents.
Rednecks are so much fun, but you can't do anything cultural with them. They just hate it. You know, you can like take a redneck to an art gallery, and then once they get there, they act so obnoxious. You know, it's like, well, this is a piece of crap, man. I can do better than this. It's like, honey, that's a Picasso. Well, I don't care. Look at this one. It's just a bunch of damn lines. Well, that's a Kandinsky. All right, look at this one. The damn guy's got a pencil neck, his nose is upside down, the same damn eyes are on the same side of his head. Well, that's a mirror. You know, each side of the country has something to be embarrassed about. I mean, we do have things that have been embarrassing that have happened in Georgia. We have Forsyth County, a little embarrassing. You can't blame them for being behind the times in Forsyth County. They don't have TV sets. Well, they can't figure out how to buy them. They go to the store like, well, hell, this one's colored. I ain't having no colored set in my house. I'm sorry. I ain't having it. It's like, yeah, but Zeke, this one's black and white in the same box. No. So I was working last week. I was working in Tennessee because my agent is a moron. And unbelievably, you drive around these little mobile homes, great big satellite dishes, you know, apparently to get that 24-hour hee-haw channel. It's real cute. I miss a lot about the South. I have friends down there, a Southern girlfriend, they're real demure. Southern women, they don't like to talk about anything graphic. Saw a friend of mine, I said, Julie, I haven't seen you in ages, how you been? She said, well, Pam, I've been in the hospital. And I said, no, what's the matter? She said, well, I have female problems. Like it's the 80s, what do you mean female problems? She's like, Pam, you know, female problems. Like what, you can't parallel park, you can't get credit? And I was on stage in Tennessee, and I'm making fun of Tennessee because it's Tennessee. And this guy in the front row got really upset, and he said, well, hell, at least here in Tennessee, we don't drive all over our freeways and shoot and kill people. And I said, no, but you should. But it's nice. Now, see, here I am making fun of Tennessee, and I'm originally from Georgia and recovering nicely, thank you. And it's a great state. The most embarrassing thing about Georgia, though, is that there is a drug problem. It's a terrible drug problem because not only is it affecting people, but it's affecting the wildlife. It's a true story. 2 years ago, there was a bear in the North Georgia mountains that died of cocaine. It was a tragedy, yes. There was a plane that flew over, had a shipment of coke in 80-pound bags. It crashed in the mountains. The police recovered all the coke. They found one empty bag, and next to it was a dead bear. And all I could think was this poor bear, after doing 80 pounds of coke, all alone in the woods, without anybody to talk to. He's freaking out. He's trying to find a payphone. He's like, hello, boo-boo. No, man, I'm feeling really paranoid. I think all the friends are talking about me on my back. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to the mall. I'm not sure what. I don't know. I'm supposed to hibernate in June. I don't know. And they say the bear didn't eat all the coke. So you know what that means? There's probably a couple of beavers out there building a hydroelectric dam now.
I was in Canada recently. It's like another country. It's like going somewhere else. It's like in Canada, the only way they advertise the place is come to Canada because you probably don't know anyone here. Like in Canada, they make maple syrup 24 hours a day. That's their whole income is maple syrup. You get off the plane, they go, well, welcome to Canada. Would you like some maple syrup? No. Well, no, I'd like a hotel room. How do you want your maple syrup? You want a big vat of maple syrup, little jars of maple syrup? How do you like your maple syrup? Well, I just like a place to sit down. Now, how do you want your maple syrup? Because years ago, Canadians were walking through the forest, and they saw a tree, and they said, look at that tree. There's weird, disgusting goo dripping out of it. Let's eat it. In fact, not only will we eat it, but we'll make an entire industry of feeding it to other people. We'll just make big bottles of disgusting tree goo and sell it to people. Well, will they just eat it with a spoon? No. It's even better. They take perfectly good food. Like, off the top of my head, we'll say pancakes. And you take this disgusting goo that came out of a tree and you pour it all over it. I like it. I'll run with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. Yeah. guess. They don't leave there. Actually, the only thing I miss about Chicago are the blues. You guys like the blues? Yeah. Chicago's like the blues capital of the world. It really is. It's not as good here. Went into a blues club here the other night. There's 4 black guys and a white guy up on stage. They're up there with their eyes closed, jamming, getting down. And I noticed the white guy peeking. I got my money back. Yeah, I went with my friend Lefty. We call him Lefty because he only has just one left hand. He lost his right hand in a game of I bet I can chop your right hand off. He would have won. He was just so drunk he thought it was the other guy's hand. And then I saw my friend Jill. Jill's about this big, you know. She's one of these short people that are always making up excuses about how great it is to be short. Like she actually said to me, "Short people live a lot longer than tall people." I said, "No, they don't. They're just so irritating. It seems like they're around longer." My parents were visiting. Actually, I just brought them back to the airport today. They leave tomorrow. Couldn't take them anymore. Then my mom wanted to know why I never come home for the holidays anymore. I said, well, I can't get Delta to wait in the yard while I run in.
Dukakis doesn't like the Republicans because of the budget deficit. But that's not fair. What is it, 200 billion? What's going to happen? Is Japan going to come over and say, hey, Uncle Sam, we want the money? We'll say, well, we don't have it. They'll say, you don't have it. What did you spend the 200 billion on? And we'll say, well, these nuclear warheads. And they'll say, well, we don't need it right away. Our country's making nuclear weapons like there's no tomorrow. And I think we have to protect ourselves from the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is a very weird combination of evil and incompetence, kind of like the post office with tanks.
Once, I was walking through the country and I looked up in the sky and I saw a flash of light. And something landed way out in the middle of the field, and there seemed to be smoke all around it. When the smoke died down, I walked over and I stood a few feet away, and there was a strange buzzing, and 2 latches opened up, and then a ramp appeared, and thousands of greenish-gray creatures emerged from the ship. They surrounded me, staring at me with their greenish-gray skin and unblinking red orbs. And they stood staring at me, and finally one stepped forward and spoke and said, Ben Gazzara's a good actor. Why can't he get a series? I thought about this for a while, and I said, I don't know. I can't help you. I don't know. They're very small. I don't know. Stay together in a group. I don't know. It's true. It's all a true story. In fact, as a matter of fact, I was in Austria, and I spoke to Kurt Waldheim, and Kurt said to me, you know, a couple of years ago, I was in Germany with my wife, and we're having our picture taken. So I'm standing there with my wife, and everyone else is standing off to the side. Who goes strolling right up, right in front of the shot like there's no picture being taken, but Adolf Hitler? Go figure the chance of that happening. I'm standing there, Hitler goes walking right into the shot. So, I don't want Hitler in the shot. I don't even know the guy. So I figure maybe I'll catch the photographer before he snaps the picture. So I go, wait! Don't take that picture! Wait! Don't snap that picture! Don't do it! But of course, that's the one they use. Now, whenever they need a picture of me, that's the one they use. They don't use any other ones, they use that one. You know, I figure all the other pictures they could use of me, there's one of me next to Suzanne Summers, one of me next to Don Knotts, you know, a lot of cute pictures. But no, not. As in, no.
Penn and Teller. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chill it down, chill it down, chill it down, chill it down. Good evening. My name is Penn Gillette. This is my partner, Teller. We are Penn and Teller. I'd like to welcome you to Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas, for Showtime Comedy Club's All-Star 3. We're going to be seeing the 5 comedians that have been selected as All-Stars from over 300 comics taped in a nationwide search. These people are funny. And they aren't just funny for a buck. They're funny because they desperately need to be. Now, Teller and I do comedy, but we cheat. We have other things to fall back on. We do creepy stuff, swindles, tricks, rip-offs. But if we have a joke that doesn't really work as well as we'd hoped, there's always something else going on that can slide us over it. But not comedians. They're funny or they suffer. And you guys just don't know how easy it is to feel like you're dying up here. These are great comedians. And you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a really good time. You're gonna laugh, and you're gonna laugh really hard sometimes, and a few times you'll burst into applause. But sometimes you'll just chuckle. You may love the jokes. I mean, you may tell your friends at work about it tomorrow, but right in that all-important moment after the joke, you're gonna just chuckle. That's no big deal, right? A chuckle is fine, right? Wrong, wrong. Not to a comedian. These people are not happy with making you chuckle. They want to kill you. Make you sick with laughter, make you laugh so hard you're gonna wish you never were born. And if they don't, they might as well be dead. Now you can't understand this. If you could truly empathize, then you guys would all have to be comedians. But maybe we can give you a mild demonstration. I am locked in this device called the Iron Comedian. It is holding me in the traditional stand-up comedy position. I am completely and utterly unable to move. But if you can't get laughs in this position, you ain't no stand-up. I will have... Ladies and gentlemen, I will have only comedy to protect me. I have a monologue right over there on cue cards. It's just jokes. Good jokes, but jokes. Written by Eddie Gorodetsky, a professional comedy writer. And I'm gonna deliver these jokes as best as I can. My partner Teller knows me very well, and he's heard me rehearsing. And he knows what I want out of the jokes. He knows the reaction that I want out of you on each and every joke. And he will gauge your real reaction against my expectations, and he'll help me to feel physically what a comedian would feel mentally every time I fail. Every time I fall short, and your reaction is even the tiniest bit less than I hoped, Teller will let me know. We hope this demonstration of the Iron Comedian will give you some understanding of the brave men and women you're about to see be funny here tonight. Okay, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the little town of Greenfield, Massachusetts, a very funny man indeed, Mr. Penn Teller.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thanks. As I said, my name is Penn Gillette, and as you've heard, I'm from Greenfield, Massachusetts. I wouldn't say Greenfield is out in the sticks, but they're expecting Batman to open there next week. Everyone in town is probably going to go, so it's going to have to play about 2 nights. Of course, I haven't seen Batman. I don't get to go out to many movies when I'm on tour, but I do watch a lot of TV. You know who my favorite actress on TV is? I know I'm going to catch some heat for this, but it's Roseanne Barr. She's really a versatile actress. As a matter of fact, I just read in Daily Variety that she's going to grow a handlebar mustache and play the part of David Crosby in the made-for-TV movie. Of course, they can't use Crosby's name, so for legal reasons, they're going to have to call it Orca, Stills, Nash, and Young. Okay, screw TV. You people like home repairs? I thought so. Thought it was kind of a Bob Vila crowd. I've been fixing up my place, and I bought a whole bunch of particle board. I was eating lunch one day, and I realized that particle board is kind of the head cheese of lumber. Yeah, I get some of my best ideas eating head cheese. And speaking of food, the next day I was having breakfast, and I realized that waffles are just uppity pancakes with a fashion sense. Speaking of fashion, what's the deal with perfume nowadays? Seems like every 2-bit star has to have a personal fragrance. Shirley MacLaine has a new perfume on the market. It's called Regression. She says it makes you smell like you did in a past life. Okay, perfume jokes. How about this? Michael Keaton has a new perfume out. It's called Guano. You know, bad dung. But you know, I think I'm watching too much TV. I was always a big fan of The Who. They're always big heroes of mine. Now, is it just me? Or are all The Who starting to look like the father on Family Ties? Or maybe it's too many movies I see. Star Trek V. It was supposed to be their, yeah, I know what you mean. It was supposed to be their search for God, but it looked more like the search for a hair club for men. The only reason I go to the movies is for the food. Now, I don't understand Milk Duds. I mean, why is the word milk in Milk Duds? I mean, do they want us to know they're made of milk chocolate? Is there some confusion here? Do they make them out of anything else? I mean, can you buy egg duds? Or pork duds? Or Munster duds? Or tater duds? Or fish duds? Is a colonel putting out chicken duds? Or Roseanne Barr duds? Or how about cat duds? Or sea duds? And that is what it feels like to bomb.